Smart 24, driving business.
A very good morning to you. Welcome once again to Smart Means Business. We're live here to have you join us today, the 2nd of September 2024. Welcome September. It's a new month and quite a delightful way to start off this Smart Means Business. What are we going to be talking about? We have quite a number of detailed to give you on a national, regional, as well as international scene. We will have a little bit of some stories, of course, coming in, getting to know on the regional side what's happening in Kenya, Kenya-US relations, what's happening in regards to their bilateral or the different trade that is on their table. And of course, when it comes in to international news, we will have a look as well at South Africa's investment projects that hit 793.7 billion. Quite some good news coming in, and of course a couple of things happening in West Africa, particularly in Ghana. Now let's dive straight into the undertone of this conversation. Remember, every time that we are here, right here at Smart Means Business, we do have a particular topic that is pertinent that we bring to you for your insight. And of course, we go in and give you a couple of snippets and of course a couple of insightful details in regards to that. Now, this Monday, the 2nd of September, we will be looking at freelancing. What is it? How has it come up? There has been a boom, a recent shift, and of course it has an impact on the traditional employment status, especially in Uganda. But when it comes down to the details as well, getting to dissect them, who is going in for freelancing? What is it all about? These are some of the things that we will be bringing to you. Please get onto our social media pages. We're always delighted to have your insight as well as your comments on some of these pertinent issues that we get to bring to you. You can find us there on X as well as Facebook and YouTube. Just get in there and type in Smart 24 Business, Smart 24 TV official as one word, as well as Smart 24 TV as well as one word. Please get in there. Let us know what you think of some of these topics. Now let me dive straight into what freelancing is. That is our topic today for Monday. Have you ever freelanced? Those are people, the freelancers are those that basically move away. They don't want to have this sort of permanent position, permanent employment. You have an appointment, you have a contract, you have an appointment that is going to be more or less on a permanent basis with a company or an organization. But instead, freelancers are those sorts of people who, instead of being employed permanently in a permanent position by a company, freelancers work on per project or contract basis, often for numerous different clients or companies. They are self-employed, meaning they set the terms and they are considered to work for themselves. Mostly it is more or less, some have been, thought to put it rightly, nearby consultancy, but it is more or less those ones that want to do work on their own pace, want to be able to set who they work with, when they work, and how they work. Now, the funny thing about it, of course, that is interesting is that in Uganda, you have more and more freelancers getting on board. And of course, this is more and more as you go lower towards the age group. You have lots and lots of persons, especially the youth, coming up and freelancing, and those as well in their 30s and early 40s. Early 40s are also taking on extra work. And how is this changing? How is this changing the traditional employment? You know how it used to work out, whereby you would do the 8 to 4, then it became 8 to 5. And you have those ones, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to actually be able to get your paycheck. Most of it, one of the downsides to that, of course, is that it tends, because of the mundanity, the use, it's over and over. You wake up in the morning, you get there, and then it loses that appeal to you. So you find very many youth in Uganda right now shying away, even early, the corporates, within their 30s and early 40s, more or less preferring. Early 40s, you normally find them in one place because they do need that stability. Most of them have started families, but then they will tell you that as well as that, they do have something on the side that they are doing as freelancers. But you do have, of course, in the 20s and 30s, you will find them freelancing in around 4 or 5 different areas, and they are making quite some good money. So that is the boom, really, when it comes to freelancing in Uganda. What are those specific areas that we get to look at when it comes to freelancing? When it comes to freelancing, we have seen quite a lot, especially when it comes to some of the upcoming job areas, such as social media marketing. Social media marketing has been one of those areas whereby you have lots and lots of freelancers. The digital marketing space has lots of freelancers, because what happens is that you find companies are in need of someone who will be able to handle and keep an eye on their social media content. Remember, it has moved mostly, there's been quite a surge of usage of different phones and accessing this information via phone. So you do have more and more companies right now in search of digital marketeers, as well as social media handlers and all those. So where do they come in? And most of the times, instead of hiring someone to just come in and handle that, they prefer to outsource or look for someone who can do it on a not so daily position, but more or less on someone who can come in and know that I'm going to do a couple of hours per day, and that is it, handle this account and go on to something else. Now, when it comes to a couple of hours a day, you find that it gives them, the freelancers, quite a good positioning, because you know that at the end of the day, you can have, let me call it company A, you can do your 2 hours with company A, handle their newsletter, go to company B, do another 3 hours, and then do their content and all that for social media. And then you can have like 5 different companies that you are working with. Now remember, this is Smart 24 TV. We are driving business. We are bringing you the latest trends within employment, the employment arena in Uganda. Does it pay? It does. You have lots and lots of freelancers right now in Uganda, especially when it comes to social media management, when it comes to social media management, digital marketing. You know, you have a number of them earning between 1.5 or even 1 million and above per month. You have quite a number. And then others, it comes up to 5 million or 6 million, depending on the scope of your roles, your different responsibilities. So is it worthwhile? Now imagine if you do have 5 companies and you are freelancing for them, the 5 companies, you are putting in a daily of 2 hours per company, and each of them is paying you between 1 million to maybe 2 million. That gives you a roundabout of around 10 million. And that is why you find lots and lots of youth right now are getting into freelancing in Uganda. That is particularly when it comes to social media and social media management, the digital marketeers, as well as that particular bracket is where we're going to be looking at. Now, do you have the relevant skills? Now that you know you can get quite some good money when it comes to that, do you have the relevant skills? In the next, from around 8:15 to just about 30 minutes, the next 15 minutes, we will be talking about some of those particular areas that need freelancers, where freelancers tend to flock to, as well as, of course, some of the pertinent skills, the needed skills that you must have if you want to freelance. That is it, and that is your Monday, starting off with some hope, the very 2nd of September 2024, starting it on a different avenue, giving you that vibe. Even in the waters, in the sea, right now in the ocean, of so many problems that are happening within Uganda. Of course, those that need address, and then you do have the other ones that have been on standby, slowly trudging on. And just like we've been giving you in the last couple of weeks, you know very well what happened with the Chitezi landslide, if you have been following us here at Smart 24 TV, and the intricacies of waste management. We will hint as well on how the waste segregation at household level is going on. Remember, we do have a couple of guests that will be joining us later on through the week, talking about how do we start off with waste segregation. Is it worthwhile? Can it be done? What are the behavioral patterns of Ugandans when it comes to waste management, and especially their role in waste segregation in Uganda? We will have some insight as well. But for now, the undertone of this conversation really is giving you that extra push as we come to the close of this year. You have quite a number of companies that are getting into advertising for the end of the Christmas season that we're just beginning to get into. A number of them have already begun their advertising, and a lot is at play. You just could be missing out because you don't know of this opportunity. Stay with us as well. Give us your opinions on our social media pages and let us know what you think. For now, let me dive straight into press review and give you the latest around the country from the different dailies as we get to see them. Press review coming up next. In your new vision, government lifts ban on recruitment. Government lifts ban on recruitment. Now remember, we gave you that report last week where we had thousands and thousands of places, positions within the government that hadn't really been filled because of the ban. And then, of course, you had issues with the medics, the medical interns protesting and saying, no, there must be something done. You are barring us from getting there. You are putting the cost quite so high for our parents who are already burdened. But let's look at what is else inside here. After almost 2 years of a ban on recruitment, the government has finally allowed ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as local governments, to hire new staff. Some good news happening on the 2nd of September here. Of course, you do have the payroll audit still going on. You had quite a number of corruption cases and some jitteriness. There are a lot of tension happening within the different places. But right now, it's having a little bit of a positive undertone there. First Lady emphasizes the importance of nurturing youth for the future. The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has emphasized the need for the older generation to collaborate in nurturing younger people to raise dignified, responsible, and productive citizens for sustainable development. What about if those older persons are not really mentors to emulate? What about them? That is also a controversy that is right there. But talking about controversy as convicted civil servants are reappointed. It's business as usual for some. Who raised the complaint? The Solicitor General's advice followed a complaint by the Anti-Corruption Coalition Uganda, a non-government organization that the convicts were appointed on promotion in various positions in Jinja City without clearance. Talking about controversy, unfortunately. And then, of course, the 3 civil servants who were last year convicted, that is still the same story, convicted of 120 million fraud, have been reappointed in various positions in Jinja City, despite the Solicitor General's advice that they should have been dismissed from office. Some of these: Samuel Mali, the Principal Human Resource Officer, Ronald Elijah Kafifi, Principal Treasurer, and Jemima Mirembe, Senior Assistant Accountant. Those were the 3 officials implicated. Get your new vision and find out some of these stories. Museveni rallies mothers to embrace school feeding plan, the role of mothers when it comes to continuity and nutrition in schools is still very, very critical. This was launched He launched the Mothers Union Buganda Community Socio-Economic Program yesterday, urging Christian married mothers to advocate for the government's day schooling strategy for UPE and USE. He emphasized the importance of providing packed lunches for students. Mothers are still at the forefront as well of nutrition. If a mother does not know what to do, oh dear, lo and behold, it will be a mess up there. So more and more mothers need to be sensitized. Interreligious Council calls for dialogue among political parties. Uganda-Rwanda armies draw new security strategies. Michana gets 259 million maternity word from Rotarians. Thank you so much, Rotarians. Rotarians are right here in Uganda doing the best that they can, cancer run. And then you do have, of course, the different engagements, the different sensitizations, but mostly the fundraising. The fundraising has really been critical from Rotarians. Government scholarships, tight targets set for Ugandans. It will not be business as usual for Ugandan students who enroll at top universities in China and India on bilateral scholarships. Going forward, students who fail course units for a program will be required to meet the cost to receipt the papers. You won't go there just to sightsee and do cheyo. No, you will not. You'll have to meet the cost if you do refail. Government is not putting in quite a lot of money for you to go there and fail. 27 applicants shortlisted for 12 High Court jobs. Uganda's financial inclusion journey. Remember, we have been talking about inclusivity, especially when it comes to PWDs. We still do have the undertone as well coming in tomorrow and throughout the week. But you have, of course, quite a number of inclusivity questions coming in. What are the gaps? Are they being addressed? When it comes to your daily monitor, the blood factor in your health. Do you even know your health? Do you know your group, your blood type? How convenient is it when you have that accident for the mothers out there who basically still have to go through that reproduction phase and you are giving birth, the emergencies that arise during that time? Do you know your blood group? Medical experts and research reports say one's blood group can impact health, with some types more prone to certain diseases, while others enjoy enhanced immunity and could even dictate aging patterns. They have started. There is one gentleman that actually was very keen on eating for your group, eating right for your group. We should have some details on him. But here, still within your daily monitor, blood groups A and B, children with blood groups A and B are at a slightly higher risk of getting complicated malaria. Blood group O, people with blood group O could get more health effects, heart disease from air pollution. Blood group O has connection with increased incidence of cholera, plague, tuberculosis, infections, and mumps. Now, then you come up and say, but what do we do about the blood groups? Are they going to change? What are they going to do? Whenever they begin coming up with all these different things, the first thing that I think about is the biogenetics. They talk about how to mitigate something. But sensitization, this is very critical so that you can know how to deal with your matters. Still coming down to smallpox, each region now has a case of smallpox. This is according to the ministry. And they're saying, whereas it hasn't really come out so rapidly, each region now has a case of smallpox, of mpox, sorry about that, monkeypox. So you should still be very, very vigilant and get to know about smallpox. We will give you, of course, the latest on what it is all about. Government seeks 600 million for breast milk banks. The 2018 World Health Organization and United Nations Children's Fund guidelines on baby-friendly hospital initiatives state that infants who cannot be fed by their mothers can thrive on self-donated human milk. In 2021, government launched its very first breast milk bank at St. Francis Hospital, Zambia. And then, of course, some unfortunate news, Masaka bus crash blamed on reckless driving. We've got some accidents rolling in, but this was really quite an incident yesterday. Yesterday's accident in Kabale, Bugonzi, in Masaka City, on the Kampala-Masaka highway was caused by a bus driver who veered from his lane and rammed into an oncoming tipper truck. There has been quite a lot. 8 died on the spot, while 46 suffered injuries. The bus was coming from Kampala, heading to Kigali, Rwanda. Some unfortunate news coming in there. Bus drivers, please take caution. They have been, and this is the role of social media when we are talking about freelancers as an undertone. When we're talking about social media, we get to find out that you still have quite a number of posts coming in on social media going viral about bus drivers that really drive recklessly. Why would you want to cross? To turn and overturn and all that at the corners, moreover. Yes, you want to bypass another 2-3 cars at very quick speed at a corner. Really, there ought to be a little bit more sensitization and harsher penalties for drivers that risk the lives of the passengers. There has to be something done. Have CSOs joined the electoral reforms debate lately? UNUS sound the sirens on terror. Uganda, there have been quite a number, a little bit of reports going out there, as well as preventive measures being taken in regards to terror. And of course, the security agencies are highly on alert in urban areas after the United States agencies in Uganda issued terror alerts. But of course, the implications on the tourism sector is huge, especially when a note such as that comes out. Floods drive cattle farmers into the world. Court demands DNA report in Katanga case. There is quite a lot that you can be able to get. And of course, to round it off, on your Monday, the East African, we will give you quite a number of details all throughout. Rivals lock horns. What has been happening between Egypt as well as Somalia? What is happening there? Where does it come from? These are some of the stories that you will be getting all throughout the week. Get your latest New Vision and Monitor, as well as the East African, and find out what is in it. Let's take a short break. I will be right back after the break.